Yo, Flows, I hope you're all doing well on this great evening. How you guys all doing? It's good to see you guys. We have in Ellemnet, Blind Spot, Disclord, and PJ Cruikshank.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
It's good
How are you doing?
good to have you all here on this late edition stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the power schedule changed and things, I took opportunity to do some videos. So yeah, I'm working on the video for the members tomorrow, because I mean I feel bad having brought out a members video in like 2 weeks, so taking the time quickly to do it.
It's not like we don't see 100 million times. You know what I mean? You're very busy, Flats. You know what I mean? It's not like you've got a lot of time on your plate to be able to do it, but yet you still manage to do it. It's crazy.
Well, let's put it this way. What's tomorrow going to consist of for me? Oh yeah, getting up, finishing the video, having to keep the children occupied while my wife's doing her tutoring, and then we have to clean, and then we have to go get our things for a braai, and then we're going to a party, then we have to come back, and then I have to try and figure out my opening for tomorrow night's debate, and figure out my opening for Sunday morning's debate, and then we're going to stream with the debate, and then obviously sleep, and then wake up, do the debate, and so on. So yeah, I've got quite a busy day ahead of me tomorrow.
Yeah, it's good. So not much. You've got a free day tomorrow then?
Nothing.
Yeah, like I say, you've never got any free time. That's what I'm saying. You're always busy. So to be able to do a members live stream is just once a month is blooming good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I got to give the members something, you guys. I mean, but I really appreciate everybody that supports the channel. So I really feel I have to give back. And yeah, and Original Jesus just came in. Good to see you, mate.
What's up, Blind Spot? What up, Flatzoid? What up, Blind Spot?
Yo.
How you doing, G?
So did you come to help us go through the Mctoon Strawman page?
Yeah, well, somebody Neil popped up the I think he did. Somebody popped the thing over the premiere going on with Nathan. He's throwing a 1925 or whatever. So I saw it and I was like, oh, let me go check out what is going on. As soon as I saw that in the poll, I said, yes, he's the king of the straw man. I said, let me chime in, because but a little bit I've heard, not much, because I really don't listen to him until you guys bring him up. I hear the name Nick Booger Eater, different things like that. But I never really heard him until that one time I heard him and Jaren going back and forth, and I was like, wow, this dude, that's all this dude does is straw man, just try to make people, like he might as well say, your breath stinks. So that's why they're taking to the
that's
why you say my breath stinks? Did I say what I'm saying? He just throws labels at you and stuff like that.
So your mum dresses you funny, so they asked the Globe.
Exactly.
Well, he called me a wife beater for showing him optical curve.
What?
Yeah.
He did, yeah. He did.
You sure he didn't say you was wearing a wife beater during your stream?
No.
That's what they call t-shirts. That's what they call the Fruit Looms and the Hanes.
No.
T-shirts.
Because you were showing footage that he says was rectangular. I can't pronounce it.
Rectilinear.
Rectilinear lenses, and he says it has no distortion. And when I showed the video footage, I stopped on a frame which showed it distorted. And I was asking him straight, does it show distortion here or not? So in other words, he called me a wife beater.
I think I do remember that one. I think that was the first time. This was before you had Ellemnet.
Yeah, before I had Ellemnet.
Yeah, I remember that because it was about the convex concave lenses versus rectilinear, and he was trying to straw man you, saying that you say that that's the best camera that doesn't have any distortion, and he straw manned you on that. So you said, well, then explain this, and you were showing him that the very end of each edge had some distortion.
Yep, exactly.
Nonetheless though, but I think I was saying at the end of the day, you strap one of those kind of rectilinear cameras onto a helium balloon going up 120-something thousand feet, you ain't gonna see the Earth concave, convex, and turn flat like the way the GoPro cameras and the other 8mm.
Those wide lenses create their optical curve. And it's always been that way, but they don't want to accept it. So I'm just going to say hi to everybody.
Well,
yeah?
One more thing. You saw what Mitchell did today, right?
Sorry?
You didn't hear about what Mitchell did? Mitchell from Australia?
Yeah, what did he do?
You didn't hear the early show? Oh, my goodness. Black Swan 5.0.
Okay, yeah, I've got to check it out.
You got to check it out. It's a famous bridge. It's a monumental bridge. Can't name it, but it's the long one that the globe has always used to try to
Poncha train, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Check it out. Yo, Mitch broke them down. He decapitated them.
I'm so happy he's back, though. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
I
watched that today as well. Yeah, 10 of them, 10 black swans. Oh, no, from that Poncha chain. Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Poncha train does actually a lot against the globe that the globers don't know. That's why when Soundly brought up Poncha train as proof for the globe, everybody started laughing at him.
Michael did tell me that he was bringing out a new video anyway, because Michael was in touch with him.
Yeah. But it's good to see Mitchell from Australia's back.
Oh, definitely. Fantastic.
Been missing his content.
Yeah, he came back strong. For him to come, now I didn't know he coming back, but for him to come, because when I looked at the Skype Master B, I didn't know who he was when I saw him talking to Neil. But when he came, his comeback was paramount.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So I say hi, PJ Cruikshanks in. I can't see who's above you there. George Brandwell is already gone. Richard G, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Keith Fern, hello. Thank you for coming. Taylor Vision, Spuddy, good to see you, mate. Carl Apple, thank you for coming. Alan Norstrand, mate, glad to have you here. Sovereign Soul Unchained, it's good to always have you here. Paula, thank you for joining. Matthew Eastman, hey, mate, hope you're doing well. Timothy Candleborough, thank you for coming. Glad you could come. Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum, great to see you, mate. Richard G, I think I said hello already, but it's good to see you anyway. Face Reality, yo, good to see you, mate. And Yannick Desinger and Jeff Cassett, you guys rock. Thank you all for coming. So, what do you think we're going to find on Mr. Mctoon's website?
Yeah. A lot of ad homs, a lot of secular reasoning, a lot of ignorance.
Well, let's first start off. You guys can see the screen right now.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the first thing that stands out on his page? I see a very big declaration.
The Earth is a globe.
The Earth is a globe.
Yeah.
That would be a claim, correct?
Absolutely.
So yeah. So he makes a claim. That means the burden of proof will have to be on him. So, since he's made this claim and the burden's on him to prove it's a globe, do you think this page is going to be about him proving it's a globe?
No.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I see Derek Nelson also popped in. Good to see you. And Joe Mama. Okay, thank you for coming. So we go on. Dave Wise, aka Flat Earther Dave, point by point claims refuted. Should we start there?
Let's do it.
We'll start from the top and go to the bottom. Let's see what Dave claims. Claims, we don't live on a globe flying through an infinite space vacuum. That's scientifically impossible. First of all, that's not a claim, Mctoon, because that's observed. The claim is that we are flying in a space vacuum. How do we know which is the claim or not? Simple. Where we're sitting now.
Yeah, exactly.
We had this with Dells last night as well. Do we observe movement of the Earth? No. And based on the second law of thermodynamics, the space vacuum violates the second law of thermodynamics. So therefore, the claim is not based on it's stationary and not flying through space. The claim is, the positive claim is it is a globe spinning and flying through a space vacuum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's a claim they've been pushing for the longest.
Exactly. So that's literally him starting off with trying to place the burden of proof onto the Earth. It's crazy. Okay, what's the next point? Nothing scientifically impossible is presented. I don't really understand what the meaning of that. Nothing scientifically impossible is presented.
Who said that? Mctoon?
No, this is apparently claims that Dearth has made.
Okay.
I think that's Mctoon's refutation.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like it.
He's refuting, saying nothing scientifically impossible was presented. That's his refutation of Dave's claim. That's how I'm reading it. Anyway.
No, but it says here Dearth topics claims. So this, I read it says it's Dearth claims.
Yeah, because it's got a bullet point next to it as well. So
Yeah,
it's got
so I think this is the claim itself that he says Dearth has made. Hey Grizzly Times, good to see you, mate. Glad you could make it. And it's good to have Derek Nelson. I haven't seen you in a while, mate. It's always good to have you in. Okay, but that doesn't...
Well, you know what?
But that doesn't really make sense, though.
No, I think each indented bullet point is his refutation. Like, go to the next one, and I'll bet you the indented one is his refutation again. If you look at the second one, like, what's the second claim there? Unless, read that out, Flatzoid.
Unless you can touch it and measure it, and know the distance, you can't claim anything else about it. See, it's just another claim.
Yeah.
Right, that's the claim. But now look at the indented bullet point. This is going to be Mctoon's refutation.
Now I think
the entire field of surveying, yada yada.
Oh yeah, there is. There's a bullet point, then an indented one, isn't there?
Yeah, each indented one is his refutation.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so his refutation is nothing scientifically impossible is presented.
Yep.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So let's look again. We don't live on a globe flying through the infinite space vacuum. That's scientifically impossible. It's fact. That's not a claim. The claim is, again, it's the globe. His refutation.
Yeah, and then Mctoon says nothing scientifically impossible about that. Which, if you believe that science is nothing but reified math equations, I suppose you're correct. Because the only way that's possible is through some BS reified math, you know?
Exactly. But again, Mctoon doesn't know what science is. Because show me, how can you show the globe moving with science? Go. Show me a rotation of the globe using science. Or how about using science to show how you can overcome entropy, the laws of entropy? You can't.
Yeah, you'd first have to observe the globe spinning, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You need an observed natural phenomenon to start with.
Yeah, so his refutation is simply just making a statement that science is not impossible to be presented. Which is crazy.
My question is, okay, is Mctoon trying to say all flat earthers are saying, you know how they like to say, well, flat earthers say this, and then they'll pull a quote from someone who happens to be a flat earth proponent. See, because they like to stereotype and generalize instead of saying Dave Weiss said this or such say this. You know, like the thing with Dell. We don't say flat earthers say upward earth rising. We say Dell says it.
Yes, exactly.
See, but a globe they like to generalize us. But it's funny though. Most of their things are all in sync. All of their claims corroborate.
Exactly.
If you think about it, on the globe side. So we're not really stereotyping and generalizing. So we can actually say, because their claims since yeah, exactly.
They say exactly the same thing because they indoctrinated to say the same thing. So if gravity changes, they all have to abide by the changes of gravity because that's what their religion says. But when it comes to us, because we think logical, we don't have a set model, you know, to be pushed onto us. So we all have reality as we perceive it to be while we go and observe. So that's why you get idiots like Dell who's pushing accelerating Earth. And we refute it because it's rubbish.
Yep.
With a globe, they can't refute anything because that's what their rhetoric says. So they can't
that's
refute
the script.
it. Yeah, it's a script, exactly. Exactly.
But in this case, he is specifically calling out Dave Weiss. He's not stereotype fallacying using a stereotype fallacy here.
Okay.
Although
Okay.
it's
Okay.
your point is bang on, D-Rose, and in my limited time here, I've noticed that just over, especially on the videos we've reviewed here on Flatzoid's channel, just it's nothing but stereotype fallacies usually.
Exactly.
But at least here he's calling out a specific person, and there's probably going to be some points in here that we don't agree with Dave Weiss on. You know what I mean?
There's a lot we don't agree with him on. But yeah, we got Max65 come in as well. Thank you for coming. Skeptic, hey mate, thank you for coming. Good to see you. God is love. I'm glad you could make it. Thank you for coming. Always good to see the new people in. Kimberly Broomfield, thank you for coming. I'm very happy to see new faces in here. So yeah.
And I'm back.
Hey, how's it going, Dislord?
Hey man, how y'all doing?
I'm good in yourself, mate.
No.
Good.
That's good.
What's up? What's up?
Ooh, and Jeff Gass said hello. Okay, next one, guys. Unless you can't touch it and measure it and know the distance, you can't claim anything else about it. And he says the entire field of surveying is about measuring things without touching it. How's that refuting anything that he said?
What? What?
No.
God is love, I agree. Death is controlled op. I do agree with that. Unless you can touch it and measure it, okay? And know the distance. You can't claim anything else about it. This would be because how I'm explaining that, how I can see how he's trying to say it is like you're looking at the stars. How do you know the distance? How do you know it's really that far, that large, anything? Because it's based on assumptions. It's just begging the question. So the refutation is the entire field of surveying is measuring things without touching it. How's that a refutation to what he's actually saying? That's a non sequitur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds like.
Well, in general, he's surveying. Let's say you're surveying a landmass, right? You can touch that landmass. Like I don't even get what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like that's just a non sequitur. Like, what do you mean you can't touch it?
Exactly.
So now, listen, I'm not so sure I'm 1,000% behind Dave Weiss's claim in the first place that unless you can touch it, you can't measure it. I think he means kind of the way you were saying it, Flatzoid. He's probably just not being specific enough.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
heavenly
he should have
bodies, things
said
like that. But
celestial. Yeah, exactly. Above.
Yeah, because I know.
But I can't touch love, but I know that my love is 1,000% for Flatzoid's channel. So I just want to put that out there.
I appreciate you
All
guys,
right, enough
man.
of the mushiness. No more mushiness.
But yeah, anyway, planar surveying shows it's flat, by the way. Just Mctoon in case you're watching this, which I know he's going to watch this. So anyway, yeah, that doesn't really refute anything that he says. Not that I think he really made the claim correct, like we say. But we understand what he's trying to say. So yeah, it's just a non sequitur that. Next, Michio Kaku says himself that cosmology is off by 10 to the 200th power. That we all know. I think I've actually got a video on it. See if I still got on my PC. Sorry, I got to look way down in my PC because I've got so much on here. It's amazing how much space a person picks up so quickly on a PC. Cosmology, yeah, there we go, I found it.
Yeah, where did all my gigabytes go? All my terabytes too. I don't know where they are. They just disappeared.
Yeah, it's true.
So this is what he was talking about, guys.
There is a crisis in cosmology.
That's a bit
Usually
soft though,
in
sorry.
science, if we're off by a factor of 2 or a factor of 10, we call that horrible. We say something's wrong with the theory. We're off by a factor of 10.
Where is it showing?
In cosmology, we're off by
Only
a
on
factor
YouTube?
of 10
No, it's showing on.
I see it.
You need to press Flatz's F1.
Okay, maybe it's just me, but I got a black screen, so I guess
You
I
got a black
gotta.
screen.
Maybe because you haven't got enough signal.
I don't know. I'll try to refresh the page.
Yeah, it should, because
Yeah, I
I'm
might
seeing
have
it.
to.
Are you watching from the moon?
Well, you could have just used the landline that Nixon used, it would be much better.
That clip you showed, I think that's from the Principal movie. I think that's where.
Okay. But yeah, all he's
Okay,
saying
cool.
is it's off so much that it should be impossible.
Works now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just going to say he made a few statements in that movie that I think the Globers are not happy about.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why they just don't want to even address what he says, though. SI man, good to see you, mate. Yeah, that we've spoken about the Pontchartrain thing. It's definitely something maybe we can even look at later, because I know Earthgrove is going to become brought up, so it will be in that topic. Then we can bring it up and show his video, I think, because Mitchell from Australia is ace. Yeah. Okay, so what did he say against this, guys? Michio Kaku was not speaking of the entire field of cosmology. What? He literally said the entire field of cosmology. Those were his words. Did he not? The entire field of cosmology.
Play it one more time. We were kind of talking through them. Maybe try playing it one more
was a
time.
bit soft, though. That's the only thing. Let's see if I can roll the get on YouTube. It might be better. Might be louder. Michio Kaku. What do we say? What's the name of it? Sorry, we lied. Ooh.
That guy, he also has so many talks, about technology and, how we are going to, make our consciousness travel to other planes of existence, through technology, how we're not going to have to use our body to go to other places in space.
Mm-hmm.
We will just travel there with our minds through technology.
Yep.
That's so creepy. See, and there's the video. See, you see the quantum computer behind him in the middle of the screen.
Oh, I see. So he's a science fiction author. Cool.
How he explains us traveling to other planets in the future is through brain technology, not physically. We ain't going anywhere. We are right here traveling to virtual places through brain technology. That's kind of what he's explaining without saying virtual.
But they are trying to push ambient beings. They're trying to make biotech. That's what they want. They want you to be implanted. So they're actually trying to push the matrix, you can sort of say.
Yes, avatars.
Mm-hmm.
That's Mitchy Bunky.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the video. That's just a bit louder on you guys. Listen to these words, Mr. Mctoon.
In cosmology. Usually in science, if we're off by a factor of 2 or a factor of 10, we call that horrible. We say something's wrong with the theory. We're off by a factor of 10. However, in cosmology, we're off by a factor of 10 to the 120. That is 1 with 120 zeros after it. This is the largest mismatch between theory and experiment in the history of science.
So tell us again, Mctoon, how it's not talking about the entire cosmology, the entire field of cosmology. He
didn't qualify it. He just said cosmology.
Yeah.
He said cosmology, but that's cosmology, isn't it?
So if you say cosmology, that means cosmology, correct?
Yeah.
Last I checked.
You don't have to be specific to entire, because saying cosmology is specific. You know what I mean?
So again, let's look at the claim that Dave said. Michio Kaku says himself that cosmology is off by 10 to the 200th power. Now his rebuttal is speaking of the entire field of cosmology. So again, straw man. He didn't say the entire field of cosmology, did he? He specifically said cosmology.
He wants you to know the cosmology of the cosmology.
Yeah, guys, please hit the likes and share the show. It does help to get it out to a wider audience. And I think what we're going to be talking tonight is important information, so people can see what the globe actually presents, which is nothing. So yes.
It presents like it literally just, if anything, presents like a virtual fantasy world, a virtual reality world that's coming. And they're brainwashing you to live in that paradigm it's gonna bring.
Exactly.
Brain technology and fake worlds, sucking you deeper into lower worlds. It's not good.
Yeah. So anyway, he says Dave's phrasing is extremely deceptive. It's not phrasing. That's exactly the words he said. The cosmology is off by 10 to the 200th power. That's what Michio Kaku's words were. It's an actual quote. So he's saying it's extremely deceptive is false. Michio is specifically speaking quantum theory, an instant in the Big Bang. First of all, Michio Kaku is a string theorist, not a quantum theorist.
True.
Yeah.
So he's already got
Only
category error here as well.
Also, Joe Mama in the chat says that in the first 5 seconds, he actually does say the entire field of cosmology. So
Okay, that's
it's hard.
interesting.
It's hard to pick up in
Yeah.
the first few seconds there, but yeah.
Yeah, but Joe Mama, the issue is not because he didn't say it. The issue is he says Dearth made a claim, and look what Dearth says. Michio Kaku says himself that cosmology is off. His words weren't the entire field of cosmology. That's why it's a straw man, because what he said and what Mctoon says is two different things. So he's adding to his words. That's why we said it's a straw man, because that's not what Dearth claimed. So yeah, specifically the quantum vacuum energy and the cosmological constant. Still, that's also trying to obfuscate from the point. What is the point? You can't have scientific experimentation validation on cosmology. He says it's the biggest mismatch of validation, scientific validation that there is. Why? Because you can't do science for cosmology. That's the whole reason. I mean, that's why he says nobody I know does the so-called scientific method. Why? Because you can't do science for cosmology. Not hard to understand. Hey, I will not get the jab. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. And Richard G as well. Yeah, good to see you guys. Okay, so the specific discrepancy is not 10 to the 200th power. It is between 10 to the 50th and 10 to the 120th power. Dave can't even get the quote right. Wow, nitpicking. Okay, but let's go to his page. Does he think now that doesn't change how far out it is?
They're only wrong by 120 zeros, not 200 zeros.
Yeah. Like that makes any difference. First of all, now he's giving us a page to Michio Kaku on Flat Earth. So this is a non sequitur as well. Also a red herring. It's got nothing to do with what was presented. So how is this refuting what he presented there? This has got nothing to do with the argument. So we don't even need to go through it. So it's not a refutation, guys. Because he literally put something that's got nothing to do with what he was talking about. Oh, wow. Okay. Next. Distant to the closest star, trillion miles. Kind of sounds very malformed, that. Like he's not putting everything there. Because I'm sure he says more than just that.
Yeah, it's just quotation marks. So, yeah, could be more than that.
So it's almost like almost like a cherry pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Dave's initial tactic is incredulity. It's trillions of miles. Big numbers are scary. Oh, ad hom then. Congratulations. So that's your rebuttal. Ad homer guy. Big numbers are scary.
Yeah.
Incredulity. Dave's response includes the angular resolution limits of the human eye, suggesting that things below the limit should be invisible. Yeah, it's called diffraction limit, mate. Maybe you should try and read it sometime. This is untrue. No, diffraction limit's a real thing. Can you see a hair 50 meters away from you guys?
No, you can't.
I mean, you're going to struggle to see a hair a meter away from you because of the angular resolution limit.
Yeah.
But, you know, to your point, Flatzoid, he mentions angular size, and in the next point he mentions angular size again. But the point he attributes to Dave, like you said, it's a malformed point. Why not give the full quote, right, that you're refuting here so we can even see what you're talking about? Because there's no context, right?
That's what I'm saying.
It just says, trillion miles. Okay, and then he starts talking about all these angular size comments. Well, what did Dave actually say? How do we know? You know?
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like he's just cherry picking. He's just putting out of context trillion miles. Trillion miles of what? What would anything? Trillion miles could be anything said. And now he's giving all these refutations for something, like you said, we don't have any context for. But then he starts off with ad hominem by calling him big numbers are scary and saying it's incredulity. No, it's really not. And while he does that, he shows he doesn't know what diffraction is. Oof. Not a very good start to your webpage, Mctoon. I have no idea why Globists keep trying to point me to this page, to be honest. Because all we're getting here, can anybody tell me that anything presented here so far is of value to anyone?
It's not anything we don't hear in chat.
No, but I mean,
There's nothing
the
of value.
level of information here is so wrong that
that's what I mean. Ad homs in chat and stuff like that, so you're hearing it here, and yeah, there's no info there.
I've seen more consistent gish gallop babble from middle schoolers than this. At least you can actually get them to have a coherent argument back for a argument. They have an actual rebuttal. He's not actually giving any rebuttal to what he's trying to rebut. He's trying his anti-flat Earth tactics. That's probably why this is being such a cluster mess up, because he's trying his anti-flat Earth tactics to try and make himself look like he's know what he's talking about. So okay. Anyway, he says this is untrue. So he's saying diffraction limit is not true. Wow. When things are smaller than the Rotational limit, the details are unresolvable. So diffraction limit. You cannot identify details. You can still see the light. A star is still visible at a point light source. Yes and no, Mctoon. If you got a car in a distance and you only see one light, there's two lights, correct? But you only resolve one light.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the issue here, Mctoon? Yeah, it's the same as when you take, like I said, the human hair. About 30 centimeters on a piece of paper is the maximum you're going to be able to see it with your human eye. Take that same piece of paper with the human hair on and move it 60 centimeters away. Will you see the human hair at all? No, you will just see the paper. Until eventually the paper will be so far away that you won't even see the paper anymore.
It's because of the curvature.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, wow. So he wants to claim it's not a resolution limit, and then goes and claims resolution limit. And then while he's claiming resolution limit, sticks in his idiot ignorance by saying you will always see the light. So based on this point light source as well, I brought this up recently before as well. People in the army love to smoke. Okay. Now, let's say a soldier was a kilometer away. They knew they would be able to maybe smoke in the night because you wouldn't be able to see the light from the cigarette. Not because of earth curve, but because the light doesn't reach the person to be able to see it. But if they were a bit closer, they wouldn't take the chance, because then they know they would be able to see the light from the cigarette.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's a point light source, which you said would mean you would always see it. So this can be refuted with actual observation, Mctoon. Okay. He says this angular size claim is actual math and science. I'm sorry, is that what we saw him say here? Did anybody read where he says actual math and science here, or did we just see trillions of miles? Trillion miles.
Trillion miles.
You see, so there's nothing to actually argue, because he hasn't given full context of the argument. So this is easily testable at night with a bright flashlight. That it is a long distance away. When the flight light, you might want to change it to flashlight, Mctoon. is smaller than the resolution limit, you still see the light. No, Mctoon, take that light far enough, you're not going to even see the light anymore, because the angular size.
Call it a flat light?
But I mean, even a torch, the further you go away, that light, that angular size of that light is becoming smaller and smaller. Eventually it will become so small you won't see it anymore.
Well, and the irony of him chastising Dave above for not getting the 10 to the 120th power quote correct, and the very next point, he's making errors, right? I'm sure he will make a correction down below, correcting his own errors. I'm positive of it. He's that honest.
Exactly. Hey Liefie, goed om jou te sien. Ek bly jy het dit gemaak. Bye Liefie, it's always good to see my wife in chat. Love you so much. Okay, let's see. It's very simple, yeah. It's ironic. It's actually how can I put it? The irony, as we can put it. Okay, so next point, Dave. There's no curvature ever measured. Yes. Okay. Have you guys ever seen measurements of curvature before?
Yeah.
Nope.
All over the
Only
place.
fake ones, of course.
Well, not of Earth curvature. No.
Okay, he says 6 measurements of curve. Okay. Let's go look at these 6 measurements of curve. These are the so-called 6 measurements of curve. Radius of Earth measurement. Sorry, radius of Earth is a calculation based on your presupposition, not a measurement. George Biddle Airy. Okay, astronomer. Astronomer does measurements since when? Okay. Originally published 1830, Encyclopedia Metropolitan Volume, blah blah. Pages 182. Let's go to the pages. 185 to 260, he says. Just waiting for it to load. Second best Bob, hello, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Again, guys, thank you for coming. If you haven't already, please just hit the likes, share the show, so we can get out to a wider audience. What did he say? It was 185. We'll go to 185 first. Google Books. Okay. Figure of the Earth. Since astronomy first assumed, guys, the form of a science. Well, we might have to just zoom this in a bit. My eye is still not 100%. There we go. Okay. Science in the inquiry in the figure and dimensions of the Earth has always excited the interest of philosophers. It can hardly double that in the mind of reflecting man, blah blah blah. Okay, so they're just saying it's assumed. Let's see where it actually does the measurements. Give out the part of their plan. The Earth was made by McLaren. Okay. Tell me when you should stop when you actually see measurements, guys. Or just talking about them assuming it to be a globe. That's determining the radius of parallel. Uh-oh. Parallel? Would that mean horizontal baselines, guys? What does that mean when you look out to parallel? Okay, for this instance, we believe in which instantaneous fire signals were used to determine the difference of longitude of two places for the purpose of comparing it with the distance measured on an arc of parallel. So elevation angles, guys.
Elevate this.
When you measure an arc of parallel, would that be an elevation angle based on elevation angles? So flat, not globe. By observing the latitudes of two intermediate stations, this arc was divided into 3 partial arcs, whose amplitudes were 2 degrees, 50 minutes, 10 seconds. whatever. Okay, it goes on. And whose lengths were, fathoms, which gives respectively for the length of a degree, 60 and 60 fathoms. A comparison of these values with those determined by the French, English, and modern Swedish measures give to the ellipticity and quantity. Oh, my eyes. Okay. So in other words, we can establish that they are talking about elevation angles.
Yeah.
Which means flat. And calculating the globe because they assume a sphere, correct?
Yeah.
So calculations of the measured flat.
Yeah.
Paralleling the curve, Orange. Acing the step. Good to see you. It's crazy. See, I mean, even putting gravitation into the mix. I see a lot of calculation here, but I don't see any measurements, Mctoon. This is what I keep telling. This is why I keep telling the Globers, you don't understand the difference between calculation and measurements. And this makes it plain and simple for you guys. You guys done with this? Should we go on?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because this guy's stuff is boring. Anyway, that was the first one. The second one, he's got another PDF. Survey of Great Britain. Ooh. Account of the observations and calculations. So not measurements. Mctoon, making my point. Astronomica Nectar. So this is astronomical. I just don't see any measurements that he's talking about. Kudos to him for bringing up all these references and citations, making calculations, not measurements though. Oh, and here's Andrew Johnson's, guys. The flat baselines. So 4,000 kilometers of horizontal baselines, guys. All these lines are horizontal baselines from one side of America to the next. Last time I checked, horizontal doesn't curve.
It does on a globe.
So yeah, it's definitely measured flat, even based on what Mctoon is presenting to us. Thank you, Mctoon. Oh, and he has the spherical axis, just like what's the name was talking, which they forget to understand that their so-called spherical axis is optical. Based on what? The assumption of what? An ellipsoid. After the measurements done planar. Okay, so sorry, your refutation is debunked itself. Okay, Dave, zero pressure vacuum of space. Again, where's the context of this? If you read this statement alone, do you know what the hell is going on here?
No.
Zero pressure vacuum of space, which is actually not a correct statement, to be honest, because there's still pressure, so it can't be zero. Space has a positive pressure. It's very low, but it's positive. It's not scientifically impossible, it's measured. You understand what I'm saying? He's not giving any context again, but now making claims. I don't know. It's difficult to say how he can refute anything if he's not really presenting anything to refute. He's not giving a claim of refutation. You guys can hop in anytime you want, by the way.
Yeah.
Then we go on to Dave. Large bodies of water at rest are flat. Okay. What's he saying? No measurements of this flatness provided. However, the curving surfaces of water confirmed. Oh my word.
Oh.
Okay. tell me again how this is curved water, guys. Like when you look at things like this.
Exactly.
Mctoon, tell me how this is curved. Or this. Or this. It's not curved. That's the whole reason you get the mirror image. Because water seeks its own level. This is based on hydrostatics. It's literally how water behaves. It seeks its own level. So as soon as it's at rest, it lies flat, smooth. Get it? Definitely no curve to it at all. And I can guarantee you he's using Jesse Kalowski, where I've already debunked him using a theodolite. Hey Faciality, thank you very much with your $5 super chat. Really, really appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. He says the globe earth curves so much that if you go halfway around it, you're upside down. Yeah. Yep, that is scientific and demonstrable in Narnia. Yeah, exactly. The problem is, though, Faciality, they still don't get what antipodal means. Let's bring out the paint. Oh, I do love paint. Okay.
Yes, you do.
This would be their globe, guys. Now, remember, when it's on a globe, every point down is to their feet. So someone standing there is going to be antipodal to someone standing there.
Yeah.
And so forth and so forth. It doesn't matter where you go. Antipodal. Now, which way is this guy's down? It's to the center.
Yeah.
This guy's down to the center. So this means they're standing feet to feet. Okay? So, yeah, makes sense. So let's take this guy and we go halfway around. Whoop. Now, his feet is facing this way. Thank you very much, Skeptic936, for your $10 super chat for the channel support. Really, really appreciate it, mate. You rock. It's always good to see you here, and I really, really appreciate everything you do for this channel. Skeptic is ace, guys. And like I said, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate all you guys' support here. You guys are really, really awesome. So thank you very much again for the super chat. Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, guys, see Faciality. So his feet would be facing that way now. So that means he would be 90 degrees from his previous position. He would have changed 90 degrees. Titan Long also with the $10 super chat. Wow, thank you very, very much. I really, really appreciate it, man. He says, I agree with Skeptic. All I can say is thank you guys for all the support you give. You guys have no idea how much you do help. So yeah, thank you very much. Just let me know what I can do in return for you guys, because I really, really do appreciate all the support. So thank you.
Just
very,
no
very
naughty
much.
stuff. You got a wife.
That one. Okay, let's go look at Jesse's thing. See what I'm saying with the theodolite? Well, the auto, he usually uses the auto level though. Okay. So, no, taking photographs through a surveying instrument telescope is not standard surveying practice and is not to be confused with making surveying measurements using those instruments. So his opening statement here debunks your own statement here. Do you even read what you presented, Mctoon? Jessica Lasky, a licensed geodetics survey. You know what geodetics means? It means they take the Earth into consideration, the globe Earth. So they believe it to have an ellipsoidal formation. Buddy Taylor. Thank you for your £2 super chat. Really appreciate it. He says, I want Rhapsoid. Like I said, I actually wrote lyrics for 2 songs. I just haven't got to recording them.
He hasn't got the flow right yet.
Oh man. Yeah. But just because you gave the super chat, I think I'll try and make a plan for you. Thank you, Rhapsoid. Yo. Like I said, I'm not really a rapper anyway, but I really appreciate the support. Rhapsoid. Oh wow. Okay, but anyway, yeah, what is his claims? Geodesics have measured the divergence of plumb lines over 1 mile. What is this stated here on that exact link he gave? Taking photographs through surveying instrument telescopes is not standard surveying practice. So therefore his argument is mute. It's not to be confused with making surveying measurements. Oh wow. So not measuring the curve then over a mile. Huh. RH, thank you for your $3 super chat. Just sending a super chat. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it as well. Thank you. It's always awesome to see you here. Cheap. Thank you. Really appreciate it. But like I was saying, geodetic surveys, they take planar measurements, and because they have a consideration for a globe, they measure in their zenith reciprocal zenith angles, and that's exactly what his job is to do. So they take slope angles, and they take the slope angles and say, but hey, this is more than the triangle of 180 degrees, so this means the slope means it's curved. Why? Because they're considering it as a curve. That's all they do. It's just slope angles, guys. That's all surveying does. Okay, see what I'm saying? The sum of 2 angles is greater than 180 degrees. How do these result in the flat earth model? Easy, it's optical. These results are very, very well with ellipsoidal model. You see? Ellipsoidal model, where approximately using left equals... Wow, God is love. Thank you very much for your DKK20. I have no idea what that is. What is DKK?
Oh, it's Danish money.
Danish. Oh.
Danish.
Yeah.
Whoa, got another.
That would. How much would that be?
Will she understand if I
Less
say?
than $4?
Well, anything is really appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Will she understand if I say donkey buyer? Donkey? Donkey.
You can say tak.
Duck.
Mange tak.
Mange tak.
Yes, that's. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mange tak. Okay, now I learned some
Mange
Danish.
tak.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for the Mange tak for the super chat. We're getting more and more Danish people in, eh? Have you realized this?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's great to see more Danes coming to places of importance.
Absolutely.
Well, in Rand, it's actually much, by the way. Let's see how much $4 is in Rand. Well, let's see.
Actually, yeah. A dollar is 6 something crowns or something. Depends.
Well, let's just say a DKK in Rand. At the moment, $1 is 18, so $4. 72 Rand
do the
almost.
crowns instead.
Yeah.
Then we are more sure. It's called DKK.
DKK, that's what I'm trying to do. It doesn't give me that though.
Just change where it says yours. Yeah. You can write it.
D.
You can just tap DKK.
Okay. Ah, there we go. Danish Corona. And she gave
20.
20. Wow. Yeah, $53. That's a lot. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. You rock. You're awesome. You see, the thing is, South African Rand is so bad. Anything given is good.
Yeah, but that's a great thing, online.
Yeah, when I give them like £20 British pounds, it comes to like 420 something.
Yeah, something like
rands.
400 rand. The only problem with YouTube is they take 45% of everything.
Oh yeah, on
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah, of course.
But like I said, I really, really appreciate all the support, guys. You rock. But yeah, Mctoon literally takes this and it debunks what he claims because just based on this alone.
That's it.
Hey, Flat Earth Warriors, good to see you. Thank you for coming. And Shifty Eye Shady, always good to see you too. Okay, let's carry on. So, he says Jesse Kozlowski also measured the vertical drop over still and level lake. Ooh, I think I know which one this is. There we go.
Shifty Eye. That's an interesting name.
Shifty eyes, yeah.
Made me think of Flatzoid.
Again, take note, photography through surveying instrument telescopes, not standard surveying practice. And what's he using now? Taking it over a lake on with a telescope. How much times we've even tried to explain this to Bob, the not science guy, with us before. Does the angular size of that whole tripod get smaller with distance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that tripod looking this way, this theodolite would look lower because it gets smaller. This crosshair is infinite. Doesn't matter what distance you're going, it's going to stay at that exact position. But everything else in the background is changing in distance with angular size. It's got perspective. So therefore, that's why you see it the way you do. Not because the Earth is dropping. It's because what you're seeing is everything getting smaller, and it might be a bit of a slope angle to it. But it's not Earth curve. Yeah, I've seen this before. Very interesting stuff. Donkey Leafy. Okay. Guys, ready to go on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Okay, Dave talks about military artillery. Artillery. Military artillery.
Yeah.
How
It
much
sounded
is...
in my head for a second as well.
Well, RH, we pay for a loaf of bread about 20 rand. And for a milk about 23 rand, sometimes 30 rand. It depends where you buy. For 2 litre milk, yeah.
About £1.20 for bread.
Just go to plant-based milk instead. You can make a lot of that from it, at home. Easily cheap.
Okay.
I only use oat milk.
Goat milk. It's
good.
actually quite healthy.
Oat milk.
And it's
Oat milk, yeah.
and if you just find the right brand or make it the right way, it's tasty. It tastes good.
I drink oat milk, but I don't like it in my coffee and that. But I can drink oat milk.
Oh, you should try the Danish brand, one of the Danish brands, and then I don't know. We have a lot of brands now. Some of them are pretty damn good. Other ones boring. Yeah, so it's up and down.
Spuddy says, I'm gonna ask my wife for a brew. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What's his claim? Artillery and large naval guns include adjustments for rotation of the Earth and curvature. I'm confused here. I thought this was claims from Dave. So why is he saying artillery and large naval guns include measurements for rotation and Earth curvature? Isn't he going against it?
Oh, yeah.
Dave. So he would say it would not include.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
You understand what I'm saying? Dave claims that the laser can hit the target 100 miles away. This is a blatant lie. No, it's not a blatant lie. Because FE Core even did actual laser measurements, observations doing this. Correct? And what about in the military where they use pinpoint their pinpoint laser target systems? It's over 100 miles away. So it's not a blatant lie, Mctoon. It's just you not wanting to accept it. Dave claims nobody has ever seen curvature. You can see it here. He doesn't even he doesn't even just go out of his out of his claim and start. He literally places it inside his claim. Okay. Has anybody seen curve before?
No.
Seen it? Yes, but not not Earth curvature. No.
No, but I'm talking about Earth curve though.
Exactly.
No.
No one.
Well,
no one has.
What does Neil deGrasse Tyson say?
That you can't see it.
Oh, that stuff is flat.
Mhm.
He says you wouldn't even really see it from the ISS.
No. From what you see, it could just as well be flat. But it isn't though.
No. This is really.
We all know that. Now drop the mic.
Yannick Desner says, do you have a light source behind your screens? So you won't have that whiteness killing your eyes out. Actually, it's very bright. I'm going to put it a bit lower. Because it does set it... Oh, that's a bit better. I have had a hectic week at work, so I'm kind of tired. That's also why my eyes are so puffy. Okay.
You know, I saw the video the other day, Flatzoid, of the giant lizard you pulled out at work.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of job entails you having to deal with those kinds of lizards?
A job in the bush.
Like, F that.
You'll be surprised how often that type of thing happens, yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. And you don't even have reliable power. You must move.
That's too beautiful, yeah.
Import a lot of those solar cells from China and build a big ass one.
Yeah, well, we want to get a system, looking at getting a rent-to-own option for solar panels, because my wife has started doing tutoring now, so she's also getting some money, and so we're going to try and see if we can start doing that in the future. What with
old diesel motors, diesel generators? Because if you do a small adjustment, you can run on used oil. All the oil you use for cooking and stuff can be your fuel for the motor.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. Yeah.
Yes, and it's not a very hard process to do.
That's interesting. Just to say, God is love. Thank you much for your 50 Danish coronas. Thank you very much. Very, very much.
Is that the same woman?
Same one. The same one. Yeah, God is love.
All right. That's 70 all in all, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it. You are awesome. You don't have to keep giving money, by the way. So yeah.
But you did say manga attack. That's worth a little.
Okay, yeah. Manga attack. Thank you very much. But speaking of converting, I saw an interesting thing the other day. A guy took a motorbike and he totally took the fuel out. He used electrolysis so he can do hydrogen, and it runs on water.
Yeah.
With electrolysis. And the guy rides about 500 to 600 kilometers before he needs to put fresh water in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's literally free driving for
That's
600
cool.
kilometers. It's awesome.
Yeah, and if you got a bike, you can also convert the bike to run on spill oil. It's just maybe a little bit different.
Once I saw a few years back where a few guys took a old VW van and they converted it to run on vegetable oil. So they
Yes,
stopped,
exactly,
They
exactly.
stopped at all the McDonald's and stuff and took all their old oil, and they drove
Yeah.
through the whole of America that way.
It works. You just have to,
They,
you know.
they just said it smelled like burnt fries everywhere they went, but
Yeah. It's you're running around in a deep fryer.
but it's still worth it if you think you're driving for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd definitely like to do the electrolysis thing sometime. Well,
Yeah.
I'm planning on doing an engine swap in the Corsa. Maybe I can do something like that. Getting a
Yeah, just,
motorbike engine and converting it.
That'd be cool.
But the spill oil idea is easy. You know, they're just using used oil as your diesel motors.
Yeah.
Fuel.
But I'll definitely look into something like that. Because I see a lot of people also going biodiesel, where they create their own biodiesel.
It would work.
Yeah, but guys, thanks very much for all the support again. Let's get back to Mctoon. So photos of curve, guys. This is his photos of curve. To get a photo of curve of the horizon, it helps if you are at a good altitude. And what would that good altitude be, guys? Neil deGrasse Tyson says you'd have to be higher than the ISS.
Yeah, so that's ISS. It's at about 250 miles allegedly. So
Yeah,
what 300 miles, Mctoon, somewhere around there.
405 kilometers. Has anybody taken a high altitude balloon at 405 kilometers before?
Nope.
Negative.
Yeah.
Oh, you have
Wow.
too much of them, goddess love. I'll take a little.
But really appreciate it. Yeah, for his further, the motorbike runs on water. They use electrolysis. Creates hydrogen. It separates and makes it hydrogen, and it shoots out the water, the leftover spillage water, just out of the CO2 and stuff out of the. Just the water out of the exhaust. It's really interesting. I should actually try and find it again and look for it. It was really awesome. Okay, so he says, commercial airplanes are not the best option. No shit, Sherlock. But from the cockpit, you can see the curve better since you have a wider field of view. Uh-oh. Aren't the globers telling us that if you are higher up, you don't have a wider field of view, so therefore you don't see further on a flat surface? But this is exactly what he's claiming now. You can see
Well, I think
better
to
because
be
you got
fair,
a wider field of view.
I think what he's saying is that the cockpit is a wider field of view as compared to one of these small cabin windows. I think that's what he means by
Probably.
wider field of view there.
Okay.
But he would be the first glober, at least, again, 2-3 months I've been hanging out here, that I've heard that actually claims you can see the curve from an airplane. It seems like most have now resigned themselves to Neil deGrasse Tyson's claims.
Yeah, this
ISS
is
or
the
above.
time where we should hit up the video of the pilots. You know,
not
Santos
even-
Bonacci, he posted it on his channel. The one that goes through a lot of pilots telling people interviewing them that the Earth is
flat.
flat, that all they see is flatness.
Exactly. But we don't even need
That
to
they
do
don't know if it's a curve, they never saw it.
Well, we can do one better. We can bring up the golden boy, Dave McKeegan, saying that you won't see the curve. This curve is only optical. Even on a flat surface, it would look this way, based on optics. Uh-oh. Should we go look at that video quickly?
Why not?
Mr.
Yeah,
Dave
let's give people
McKeegan.
something to think about.
Dave McKeegan. Yeah, he's my favorite flat earther, by the way, guys.
Dave McMahon.
Twi-Angles McQuegan. Which one is it? Which one is it now again? It was a while back. I think it's this one. I think it was this one. Biodiesel stuff is crap. Well, it's quite a process to get it to work, though. I think this is it. Or is it not? No, it's not this one. It's a one where it actually shows that you wouldn't see, even on the flat, it will still look curved as well. Oh, this
Yeah,
one is starting
try the diesel motor thing first, because that's probably the easiest way to do.
There we go. This is the one. Thank you, Squarespace. There we go. Thank you, Dwayne
Would
McKeegan.
stretch equal distance in all directions, which would still form a circle around us. If you're in a balloon and our vision range is 10 miles, it will be 10 miles in a full 360 degrees, which would still create a curved horizon line. The only way that the horizon would appear to stay perfectly flat, even from very high altitude, is if the Earth were a shape that had a completely straight edge that we could actually see the edge of. Except, say, an infinitely long rectangle, for example, would only work if we were looking perpendicular to the long edge.
Which is false, by the way. Because when he just explained, you got your 360 degree field of view. So that means it would cause it to look curved, just like he was having the argument the whole time. So this is just the actual nonsensical, idiotic and false information pushed rectangular thing that he's trying to push, by the way.
Moment you turn 90 degrees, the Earth would then appear to get gradually smaller and smaller into the distance, like a set of rail tracks. If the Earth was square, then you'd see flat horizons in 4 perpendicular directions, but the views in between them would come to a point.
That's also false. But I mean, this is like rubbish. But anyway, this is the point I wanted to make with him, where he's literally showing the field of view. That's all you need to know. It will always look flat, no matter if you're on a globe Earth or a flat Earth.
Now this leads us on to the second argument that people put to me, which is that the reason we can't see the infinite ice wall is because our vision is limited and we can't see that far to see the edge. Now this flat Earth claim that our vision has a limited range is something that I'm going to address in a future video. However, even if there were a limit to our vision,
there is. It's called a diffraction limit. 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet.
Yeah.
Wavelength of light,
And
mate.
A lot of people see very differently. Since I was little, I was able to see way further than most of my friends. But nowadays, that's not still the same. But I just don't see as far anymore too. Your vision also gets worse.
Michael is sleeping probably. PJ's in.
Yeah.
PJ never sleeps.
Yeah, we're here. But Michael's not, sorry. But I'm here.
I'm excited to say I'm also going to have a mascot in about 3 weeks. Woo! I'm going to get my dog, Lily.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
So I'm going to be able to do a McKeegan on the chair with the dog as well. This time with a real dog.
that still doesn't address the argument of seeing a curve, because our vision range would stretch equal distance in all directions, which would still form a circle around us.
See? Thanks to Dave McKeegan. It will still form a circle around us. It's just optical. You don't see curve. Okay. Next one. First photograph of curved horizon, blah blah blah. Do you guys really need to go through all this? Wow.
Do we really need
This is like
Yes,
crazy.
you need to. You need to, and it's now.
No, this is insane. Let's just look for the most exciting ones. How's that sound, guys? Because we're going to sit here all night if we have to just go through Dirth's claims alone.
It does. It sounds exciting, at least, exciting.
Okay. Dave says no one has ever felt the spin of the Earth. There is no part of the human anatomy that feels constant rotation. You should not feel the spin. Again, Mctoon, do you know how to construct a sentence? First of all, This is Dave making a claim. You putting your rebuttal in his sentence structure is not showing any intelligence here, mate. You're supposed to be placing it down with your movable rebuttal. Because he's not making this claim, this is your claim. And yes, if we are rotating constantly, the vector would be changing constantly, therefore you will pick up the rotation. When you are on a roundabout, okay, we really have to draw this out for these people? Really? Mctoony. Here's a roundabout. Okay? Let's say the roundabout is turning this way. Okay, the dog eating its tail, whatever. What happens every time it spins? The vector gets pushed out. Understand? You're changing vector. Constantly changing vector. So, are we changing direction constantly?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. So as soon as you feel, oh no, I'm going this way, that's why you feel like it's always perpendicular like this. So that's how you know you're going to feel like you trying to go off of the whatever. I'm just giving a rough guideline. You're going to feel like you're trying to be pulled off in different directions. That's what I'm trying to draw here. Because every vector changes at every instance. So yes, you will feel the rotation. So you just actually have shown that you either are trying to be willfully ignorant or you just don't understand rotational vector. Can I make it any clearer?
That's simple enough.
Yeah. It sounded like someone is clapping hands.
That's what I thought. It was like somebody, a tennis match got hands.
I wouldn't want to jump, just from the 10-meter, thing in the, what's it called, the swimming hall, the places where you go swimming inside, the things you jump from, what are they called?
Sorry, say again?
The ones different. When you go, what's it called, the inside pool place,
A diving board.
Flumes and stuff. Diving board.
But where the things you go up and jump on, different levels you jump into the water.
Diving boards, yeah, diving boards.
Oh, diving boards, okay, yeah. I wouldn't want to jump from one of the highest ones if curvature was an actual thing, especially not on a no, not curvature, sorry, but rotation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to jump from a high place and think I would hit right down there, if I was spinning. Where would I hit?
Exactly.
I would land next to it.
But you see,
that's a good point, because if you watch those TikTok, they got some real amazing stunts by these guys that jump off cliffs, jump off bridges all across the world, and they strike the water without hitting the sloping rocks perfectly, accurately. There's no way they could do that if there was any type of rotation.
Yeah.
Or any movement, especially upward earth.
You would have to know exactly which point to jump from to hit the exact point. You have to calculate every time you jump from somewhere high.
Yeah.
So not hit the stone down there or whatever.
Hey Racer, thank you for coming. Mctoon can come in anytime he wants. No one's said he's not allowed to come in. There's not really much to defend though. Okay guys, this guy's 172 meters, I would say. 172 world record high skydive, so it's probably 172.
This is ABC's
Wide World 40 years, okay.
At the World Record High Dive Challenge in San Diego, Rick Winters will be the first person ever to attempt a successful dive from 172 feet.
172 feet, guys.
That's a crazy dive.
Wow.
But he'll be fine, guys, because remember, according to Dell, he's not accelerating. The floor is accelerating towards him, so he's actually just lying still in the air.
It's just like waiting for the elevator, isn't it? It's like waiting for the elevator.
He's just lying there waiting for the Earth to come to him, so he'll be fine. But based on the globe, the Earth is moving at the equator 460 meters a second. I doubt that pool would still be under him if the Earth was rotating underneath him, correct? Wow, that's high, guys. 172 feet.
It's crazy.
How many stories would that be as a skyscraper? About 100 and
10 story, isn't it?
only 10? Yeah, 10 stories. Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
look at that. Wow, I would never know.
I think more like 17 stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It looks very high.
I dare him to belly flop.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, bomb dive.
Well, okay, let's get to where he's gonna jump. He seems very nervous. I wonder why.
He doesn't trust their calculations.
I was like, how do
He's
I know?
afraid he's hitting next to it.
How do I know the pool's gonna be under me when I land?
Yeah. Oh.
They were very careful to go not do this at the equator, guys, because then it would move further away from under him.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yes. And he landed perfect.
Yeah, feet first.
So not even a bit left or a bit right. Anyway,
He must have been jumping hard to one side when he was
he adjusted for
Jumping off.
Coriolis, guys.
he jumps hard to one side.
Yeah.
He was
He
actually
rose.
spinning sideways in the air. We just didn't know.
Wow. Just
It's
yeah.
14 feet per story on average, so probably about, 13 stories then?
13 stories. Okay, so we're halfway both. I said 10. You said 17. Wow, that's still damn high. I wouldn't do that.
I'm thinking about, I was raised in the projects of New York, and we had 14 stories, and that was very high just to be in the middle of the roof,
Oh,
looking
yeah.
out. I could not imagine that.
And that guy on that thin ladder, standing on that little piece of wood and then jumping off it. No. Some people just don't have fear of anything like that. It's crazy. I know I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm man enough to say I'd shit my pants.
I wouldn't be able to climb up to it. I would have stopped at about 1 story or 2
I mean,
and be like, okay.
when I was still studying art, one of my friends, her dad was a fireman, and he let us go on one of those, you know, those high fire engine with the ladders, but it's got the
pool.
the crow's nest.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
it goes
cool.
up.
Yeah.
And wow, that thing went so high. I couldn't believe how high it went. But I mean, they needed to go something like 10 stories or something up. They needed to go as high as possible for high buildings.
Yeah.
And I was holding so tight there. I was crazy high. That's what I said. I can't believe how this guy would just jump off like that.
I wanna smoke some of what you got that day.
Man, I was at my buddy's, he had an apartment across from Capitol Records in North Hollywood, and he was on the 22nd floor, and he had a balcony. I wouldn't go near the edge of it. I would always stay up against the apartment wall, because I just had that, I don't know, I didn't know if that gate that was keeping the, that gate for the balcony would have popped off or anything. It just gave me the creeps.
Yeah.
22 stories.
That's crazy.
Okay? So that's higher than what this guy just jumped.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, but some people just don't fear. I mean, that's why when you see these guys, they do rock climbing and they go inside the mountain, they sleep on the side of the mountain.
Oh yeah, just in a little sling.
Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, they're literally hanging off the knife.
JC,
It's like a hammock's worth. It's just a little sling.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that too. Why? Why even do it?
yeah, look, the height.
It's not like it's not possible. Of course we can do it, but just don't.
Yeah, Yeah, just because you can, that doesn't mean you should.
No, I'm convinced that I could do it. I don't need to do it to know that I could do it. So I'm not doing it.
See, I'm
Too risky.
I'm different. Like, we have a nice mountain that's like 2,500 meters. Okay, I love going up there. It's awesome seeing the view, but going up is the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to drive literally like at a very steep angle. It's almost like, I think, 25 degrees or something. And it's on the left, it's just cliff face. There's nothing. So if you go off there, you go off there, and it's a single road. So if someone's coming back down, you have to reverse to try and make space for them to get past.
Where's this at?
Yeah, where we are. The mountains right here, the Kransberg. So it's nice and high. I actually took a video the once of when I was up there. My brother's coming to visit again in a few weeks, probably. I'm going to go up there again. We'll take some video. It's really nice. But it's damn scary to go up there. But once you're up there, oh, awesome. Okay, let's do this. Where are we now? I've lost our train of thought. Antarctica. We're not allowed to independently go to Antarctica. This is a blatant lie. The Antarctic Treaty guarantees that all signatory countries must enjoy freedom of scientific investigation. This is a mixed kind of argument. Look, you can go to Antarctica, but you can only go guided into certain areas of Antarctica, correct?
Right. You can't go beyond the tourist guarded areas.
Yeah, you can't just go on your own, and you have to have permission and all this nonsense. And to get permission, there's a whole rigmarole. So
and they say it's about $30,000 to $75,000 for the trip and tour.
Yeah, it's crazy. And one thing that also bothers me: how do you know they're actually taking you where you're claiming to go? It's easy just to put you on a plane or a boat or whatever and take you and say, "Oh, you see, this is where we're going." In the meantime, it's not really where you're going. I mean, like that other guy that apparently crossed Antarctica, and he just went past the Ross ice shelf, and they were like, "Oh, you see, he went through Antarctica," but then you look at his route, and it was just across the Ross ice shelf, so it wasn't through Antarctica. So there's a lot of things about it that just doesn't make sense to me, though. But yeah, you're not allowed to just go. People get arrested just for going. Okay, freedom of scientific investigation in Antarctica and cooperation towards that end has applied during the International Geophysical Year shall continue subject to the provisions of the present treaty. The treaty was just actually there as a coup so people can keep it as an environmental safe zone, which is stupid because you know how much mineral rich Antarctica is. So it's really weird. One of the places that's very can make people very rich is off limits for a treaty. And it's not even... I mean, what are they going to do even if they break the treaty? Tell me, what's going to happen if they break the treaty? It's crazy. It's a nonsensical... It's a show. They just... I mean, all the countries and stuff that are on that treaty don't even see eye to eye. That's the weirdest thing of all.
Well, that's the whole point that they're saying, that the treaty is real. The treaty is in writing. The treaty has been shown. The treaty is not denied by the authorities that are in the treaty. The motive for why they made the treaty is kind of, vague. It has nothing to do with the nefarious part of it. But as far as, what is it, like 2040 something? It was a 100-year treaty. Among other treaties, there's many other treaties that's, still active. But that's the whole thing. For these countries that not be, in good rapport, if anything else, they are for this particular thing.
Yeah.
And that kind of like makes you raise your eyebrow. Like, are they up to something? I mean, you call it conspiracy theory, but a lot of people do feel, I even feel that, the divide and conquer of the governments is just a farce theater, whereas they're all in the same thing. They're just about tyranny over the citizens, control, keeping the masses under control, popping the same narrative, whether it be 2020 situation or whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
it's something to think about.
Yeah, it's something to think about. Before we go on, I realized we didn't see rotation of Earth.
Okay.
Well, we were talking about it, but we didn't see what his claim is measured rotation of Earth.
Okay, I'm out, guys. I gotta go, but I'll be back.
Was also
Or maybe tomorrow.
yeah.
Have a
Thanks,
good show.
thanks, Dislord. Good to see you, mate.
Bless, man.
Hey.
Have a good
All right,
evening.
bro.
Cheers. Oh, optical gyroscopes. How to detect the Chandler and annual wobble of the Earth with a large ring laser gyroscope. The sensitivity and stability of the large ring laser gyroscope has improved so dramatically that we are now able to directly measure the combined effect of the Chandler and the annual wobble of the freely rotating Earth. Ooh, interesting. Let's go check. So guys, he's calling Einstein a liar. Abstract. We demonstrate a 16mm squared helium neon ring laser gyroscope with a sufficient sensitivity and stability to directly detect the Chandler wobble of the rotating Earth. It's quite a bold claim. The successful detection of both the Chandler and the annual wobble is verified by comparing the time series of the ring laser measurements against the CO4 series. The Earth rotation data from the International Earth Rotation and Reference System Service. So what are they using for reference, guys? Earth Rotation Reference Service. And that's what they now claiming means it's rotating.
Wow.
By the way, guys, not all publications are how can we put it, kosher? I mean, what happens if they start putting things with unicorn farts are captured by black holes because of gravity pockets?
Well,
will that make it true?
It should do.
It's amazing.
Isn't it?
And by the way, he's just put a reference. Can we have the actual document? See if it's going to open. Ooh, it's still just the abstract. It doesn't help giving us the reference, man. Earth wobble rings true. Still, they're just talking about it. So it's a reference, not a citation, so therefore it's just invalid. Or is there any way we can open it, guys? Oh well. What can we do? Okay, direct PDF letter, how to detect the Chandler and the wall. Okay. There we go. How to detect the Chandler and annual wobble of the Earth with a large ring laser gyroscope. For instance, the instantaneous Earth rotation rate, usually expressed as variation of the length of day and the orientation of the rotational axis of Earth in space, are the quantities which link the terrestrial and the celestial reference frames. How do you link reference frames, by the way? They do understand reference frames are only optical.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're either in one or you're in the other.
Yeah, you can't join them.
Yeah. Currently a set of very distant quasars. There we go. Quasars. It's already showing it to be pseudoscience, guys. Quasars. Zoltan! It's like saying beam me up, Scotty, and therefore it's scientific.
I almost read Klingon at the top then, but it's not. It's clue.
Thank you, RH, for coming. Great to have you here, mate. Oh wow, this is crazy. Okay. An external set of stable reference velocity and the variations of the orientations of rotational axis of the Earth with sufficient accuracy for precise point positioning and navigation of the Earth's surface. Typical values of less than 10 units for the measurement of and a 0.5 mrad for the pole position are routinely achieved by a network of radio telescopes and satellite observations. By the Services and International Association of Geodesy. Wow, geodesy, guys. Not biased at all. The operation of such network requires extremely expensive equipment and a massive maintenance effort. Huge amounts of data are recorded in each measurement session, which require physical transport over large distances for the correlation process in the analysis centers. Because the issue of such as data latency and the fact that there is no continuous measurement coverage. Uh-oh. Zoltan, dude, sweet. Is highly desirable to investigate the completely methods for precise estimation of Earth rotation. Furthermore, the development of independent measurement techniques will allow for the identification of interactive technique biases if they exist. Ring laser gyroscopes capable of unlocking on the bias provided by the Earth's rotation rate alone were first demonstrated nearly 2 decades ago. Over the years, the lateral dimensions of these devices have increased tremendously. The initial device built in the Kashmir Caverns in Christchurch, New Zealand, have been paths which are closed the area. Okay, this is really a boring read, by the way. Let's get to where actually show something of value. Greenwich East. Okay, so polar motion observed with reported by ERS. The data set covers half the year 2009 and the entire 2010. A value of 0.1 seconds of arc at the pole roughly corresponds to 2 meters. The data section between April and July 2010 marked the thick line was employed as the reference data for the ring laser measurements. Okay, so that thick line was the reference that they created. This is very interesting. So, the minus sign is consequence of historical conventions which defined y towards the 90 degrees west. The ring laser senses both the local north tilt and the polar motion. I'll actually have to read through this completely sometime. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I think there's only me and you left.
Really?
Yeah, I think everybody's just dropped out all of a sudden.
No.
I don't know, but it just seemed everybody was there, then I turned around and they're gone.
Oh, and I'm struggling to read.
Yeah, but yeah, your head's still sore.
Well, I'm going to go through this and then we can see what it's more about.
I mean, he hasn't given much information in it. What information he has given?
No, it gives information, but the information given is practically just on begging the question and affirming the consequent. It's circular reasoning.
Yeah, I mean,
I pick up this, so therefore it's that. That's all it says.
Yeah, it's biased information.
But I'm definitely going to look further with this. Thank you.
But it must have took his time to do it. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
It took a lot of time. It would have took a long time to do all that. I mean, you're just barely into Dave's thing. You know?
Yeah, it's difficult. Well, guys, I don't think we're really going to go on tonight. It's already 1:45, and I'm really struggling with my eyes at the moment.
Yeah.
Ooh, look how beautiful that looks. But yeah, guys, if we can't even get through Dirth's topics, how are we going to get through anything else?
I know.
It's crazy. Let's go back
It's
to
an extensive like thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then he says, find me here. Conspiracy Tunes on YouTube, Mctoon Live on YouTube, Toon Show Podcast on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Discord, Instagram. No, thank you.
So this is a new website, is it?
This is his website. He's just updated a bit because now he's got a $10,000 flat Earth gravity challenge as well.
Well, I knew that anyway, but I thought he'd done a new website, but he's just updated the old one. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So, I challenge gravity deniers to provide an accurate predictive explanation for the measured downward acceleration force. I am offering $10,000 of my own money to anyone that can do it. The prize is $10,000 paid via a Bitcoin transfer to the winner. The money is in escrow documented here, blah blah. This is an update to my previous 10,000 gravity challenge. The primary challenge is that the money for the challenge is my own money held in escrow instead of a portion. The $10,000 that Flat Out Hero owes me. It is possible that a single submission could win both challenges simultaneously. Since many monetary challenges are poorly conceived and dishonestly issued, I will be using the legit challenge framework to prevent any modifications of the parameters, personally biased judgment, or other common ways that people squirm out of the challenges they issue. The official challenge in this document. I don't hate ballers, they're only deceived. I hate trolls, they are deceivers. I 100% agree, Skeptic. That I agree with. Wow, okay. I still want to do a video on this, by the way. So, Mctoon Gravity Challenge 2.0. Preface. The law of gravitational attraction states that the objects attract each other with a force varying directly as the product of the masses and inversely as the square of the distance between them, sometimes explained simply as mass-to-mass attraction. On the surface of Earth, this manifests as a downward force with an acceleration of about 9.8 meters per second squared. The magnitude of the downward force is slightly counteracted by the rotation of the Earth. This centrifugal force results in an upward force that slightly reduces the downward force from gravity. This counteraction varies based on latitude. Sorry, centrifugal force doesn't push you upwards if the Earth is spinning east to west, is it? I mean, let's say you're on the north in the globe and it's spinning east to west. You're not going to be pulled upwards with the centrifugal force. Only on the equator will you have upwards pulled, a fictitious force, you could say. Hey, Chuck Middleton, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. We're not going to go on much longer, though, to be honest. But it's good to see you. Okay, so... But why is he explaining globe gravity? We don't need to know what globe is. Many flat earthers claim gravity does not exist. If gravity does not exist, something must be offered to explain the measured downward acceleration. Don't tell Dell this, guys. They don't think there's such a thing as measured downward acceleration. And by the way, there's a measured upward acceleration too. Hence helium balloons. Hey Dan Kieran, good to see you. So, challenge. Are you ready? Chuck, we're accelerating up, everyone. Well, according to Dell and the Globe, we are actually, yeah. Okay, challenge. The challenge is to provide an alternative mechanism to accurately predict the measured downward acceleration at different points on the Earth without using mass in any way. That's already false, guys. How can you not use mass? even if I use relative density disequilibrium, mass is involved, correct?
Yeah.
Show me anything that doesn't have mass, first of all. So he's trying to make a impossibility for people to keep to the challenge. Mctoon, this is why no one does your idiotic challenges, because it's not a challenge. You've taken the goalpost and thrown them away.
Yeah. I just moved them, chucked them completely away.
How do you do something without using mass?
Took the goalposts and put them on a rugby pitch.
Yeah, but I mean, let's put it this way. Acceleration requires mass. No mass, no acceleration. Cheers, Skeptic. Thank you for coming, mate. Really appreciate it. He says, it's only 3:45 p.m. here in Cali. Get some rest. You'll meet up tomorrow. Thanks for the chat and thanks. Now, we'll get there now. I just want to finish reading through this idiotic challenge. But I appreciate all the support, man. You guys rock, really. Okay, so you can't use mass in any way. So therefore, you can't do anything because no mass means no acceleration. You understand the idiocy here. So you might need to update this, Mctoon. This means that mass cannot be hidden or obscured in any part of the formula, directly or indirectly. So in other words, you can't use an item to have acceleration, guys. It's like saying go prove Superman by taking Barbie on a day cruise. You know what I mean? That's how idiotic it is.
Yeah.
Please provide acceleration without mass. Hello? The damn definition of acceleration requires mass. This is why nobody takes this guy seriously, because his challenges are so stupid. He makes sure it's impossible to do. Okay, so anyway, reading on. This means that you cannot use a hidden or obscured any part of the formula, directly or indirectly. Neither can constants be included that incorporate the mass of the Earth. You just said we can't use mass, so how can you use the mass of the Earth, by the way? And the mass of the Earth has nothing to do with acceleration. The gravitational constant... Oh, so we can't use the measured 9.8 meters per second now, just because he calls it the gravitational constant. You see what we're saying, guys? He makes sure that it's impossible to do. So first of all, we can't use mass, which means accelerate. You have to have mass for acceleration. We can't use the measured constant, which is 9.8 meters per second, because it's called gravitational constant.
Is this the one with the 10 guns involved?
Yeah, this is the one with the 10 grand involved for gravity.
Oh, that's it. When money's involved, he's not going to make it fair, is he? Yeah, he's going to make it completely impossible.
It's insane. Or anything derived from the sphericity implicity of the Earth. No, we don't need to. So if I take a bottle and I measure it accelerating 9.8 meters per second, I'm not allowed to do that. Even if I don't say it's got anything to do with the Earth or gravity. Why? Because it's got mass, it accelerated, and I measured 9.8 meters per second, but it's got the same gravitational constant that they claim. So in other words, you can't do anything. So it's not a challenge, it's just a guy wasting people's time. Martin says, where in the definition does acceleration have mass? F equals ma. Ever heard of it? What the hell?
Wow. Why wouldn't it?
This is a... Yeah, he's a real Egypt, as you say.
What's accelerating?
Yes, these people are...
Wow. Wow, it's crazy.
Hey, Adam, good to see you, mate. Okay, so... Okay. So, the alternative mechanism must be described such that the predicted downward acceleration for any location and elevation on the Earth can be calculated given the latitude, longitude, and elevation. Other data may be input into the formula if the data does not include measurements specific to the previously measured values for the strength of gravity or acceleration at those locations. So in other words, you're not allowed to use the actual claimed measurements that are observed. That sounds fair.
Of course.
Okay. I provide a method called the globe mechanism to calculate. Okay, now it is known that the measured downward acceleration is not exactly the same value everywhere on the surface of Earth. No shit, Sherlock. Precision measurement of this acceleration reveals slightly different values in different areas of the Earth, which is very, very minimal, by the way. Several international efforts have been unified in the measurement of downward acceleration. One of the largest organization efforts in the international gravity. Why is he giving all this? Sorry guys, this is like really stupid. Acceptance parameters. Each IGSN 71 gravity station measurement will have the globe mechanism predictions and the alternative mechanism predictions calculated. The difference between predicted values and the measured values will be summed up all IGSN 71 gravity stations for each mechanism. The mechanism will be the smallest total error shall be declared the winning mechanism. How do you show acceleration without a mass again, Mctoon? This is idiotic. Really, it's... I got no words. Okay. I think that's about it for tonight.
Wow.
Again, Martin, you need a mass to have an acceleration.
Exactly.
I mean, this little bottle has mass. To accelerate, it has to have mass. I have to apply force to the mass to accelerate. No mass, no acceleration. This is how idiotic these people are. They don't get this.
Wow, it's unbelievable.
Oh, so Blind Spot, you still here? I thought you left.
No, I did drop, but I came back.
So what do you think about his? What do you think about his challenge, saying you're not allowed to use mass for acceleration?
It's not an actual challenge.
Exactly.
It is just a bunch of made up BS.
Exactly.
It's a way of making people. You want people to think he's generous by giving out this challenge, that he's giving a chance to people to win this when there's no chance of winning it. The rules and regulations are ridiculous. he's just put out a challenge that is not a challenge at all because you can't get it. You know what I mean?
No, and I've seen him a couple of times on different debates. I think I saw him on one with Witsit once. I don't know the guy, obviously, and I've never watched any of his videos, but he just comes across as pretty disingenuous in general. Mm-hmm. So, it's not all that surprising.
It's a futile endeavor, isn't it? To try and get the 10,000.
Because you know what the thing is? He says, oh, look, no one's taking my challenge up. I've got all these challenges up for flat earthers, but they don't do it. But as soon as you look at the challenge, you go and say, but it's not a challenge. You're making it impossible. I can make a challenge for globers as well. Okay, prove it's globe by going to Neptune and sticking your finger up its arse.
I'll give you $10,000 if you tell me it's square.
Exactly.
You've probably got more of a chance of doing that.
And then I give parameters. You're not allowed to use a rocket to get to your destination.
Or Neptune dash.
Yeah. And you must make sure you go in the opposite direction of Neptune.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, sounds fair.
Again,
sounds about right.
Yeah, but this is how idiotic these things are. They make it that it's impossible to do anything.
Cool.
So what was 115 votes at the end of the day. Mctoon is the king of straw manning flat earth. 61% say yes, 39% say no. Yes, Mass is part of the definition, Martin. You require mass to move. No mass, no movement. Damn, this guy's a moron. How do you have velocity without the mass? How do you have momentum without mass?
Fruitless endeavors. Wow.
Yeah, anyway.
Can you measure the speed of love?
So yeah, guys, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. Any closing statements quickly, guys?
About 3.4 miles an hour, I reckon.
When's your debate tomorrow, Flatzoid?
Normal time. Well, yeah, 9. The normal time I use
on your channel?
On my channel, yeah, to Aaron Armstrong.
Okay.
And then Sunday morning, well, it's gonna be for you guys Saturday, I think. At 8,
Yeah. So what
8
time?
p.m.
Hold on.
Eastern.
Sunday morning. 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern Saturday for you guys.
Oh, I will be there in the chat.
For me, it's Sunday night 2 a.m. But I'm starting in half an hour earlier because I'm going to be streaming it on my show. So I've already set up the stream.
Oh, you are going to stream it here? So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather come in it from this side anyway. Yeah.
So I'm streaming it. Yeah, I did already set the schedule up, so you guys can go on my channel. You can see it's already scheduled.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, looking forward.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good.
Well, you scheduled the MDD one already, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one scheduled.
Cool.
So yeah, I want to say thanks, guys, all for coming. Really appreciate all the support, all the super chats, all the hitting the likes and sharing the show. You guys are really awesome. I'll see you guys all tomorrow night for a debate between Aaron Armstrong and myself. Should be interesting. It's all about righteous judgment. Not much to debate on it, but at least it's more than can you feel movement. Because he gave me 2 topics to decide from. Are you able to is your body able to pick up movement? Or what does the Bible say about righteous judgment? So I took righteous judgment because at least at that I have a bit more to discuss. There's not really much to discuss about can a person be able to pick up movement. Like blind spot, you obviously know when you're moving, correct?
Yeah, would he be asserting you don't have a vestibular system or you can't sense movement? Is that what's he saying?
Practically what he's saying, and he's a male nurse.
Wow.
Yeah.
That says enough.
Yeah, it says enough.
Okay.
Because these people are on...
Yeah, no, I can kind of tell. Yeah, I'm rocking in my chair right now because I'm old.
So yeah, but I'll see you guys all tomorrow night. Thanks for coming. Appreciate everything, you guys. You guys rock. Many blessings, and may the pressure be with you. Cheers.